we're just gonna be doing a little story time and a basic makeup tutorial. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and let's get into it. I'm just gonna be giving y'all a little story time on my thoughts and feelings from when my link passed away. And then I'm just about to do a real basic makeup tutorial. Very beginner friendly. Oh shit. Oh, okay, the mirror right here. My post is kind of blocking my mirror, so I might fuck my eyebrows up. Down, y'all. Come on. So what I have, my foundation. I already put primer on my face. My foundation, we using Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty. Hey girl. And what color is this? 480W. Perfect match. Perfect fucking match. And then this is my highlighter. It's very warm, very toasty. I love it. It's Reflect. Okay. And then my concealer, I just use this new Instant Age Rewind eraser. And my beauty blender, and that's it for my eyebrows. We using NK makeup. I got this from the Hesto. And yeah, these are my little brushes. Very simple. So let's get into it. The person we talking about, his nickname gonna be Pooter. We gonna call him Pooter. Okay, so one day I come to class and I see that we have a new student. So I'm like, oh, who is Dion? Everybody was just talking, and then he kind of just joined in the conversation. And it was time for the teacher to give him his assigned seat. He got sat right next to me. So we became friends. Always got in trouble for talking in class. Oh, hell no. You fucking this up already. So we became friends. We always got in trouble for talking in class and stuff. We rode the same bus. And it was just that simple. It was just that simple. So one day, you know, school is over. It's time for everybody to go home. Our bus number gets called. I get on the bus first. And I'm waiting on him to get on the bus, you know, me and all the other, me and the rest of the group and stuff. So administration stops him and is like, you not getting on this bus until you tuck your shirt in. So they start going back and forth. He like, ma'am, we getting ready to go home. I'm not tucking in no shirt. So how about we get off the bus and we all just walk home? It'll be funner that way, you know. Whenever we walking home, everybody laughing, talking, joking, you know, just jibber jabber. Teenage stuff. Now mind you, this is an alternative school we go to, so you're not allowed to bring no book bags, no pencils, none of that. You just bring yourself. So he took a pencil and he ripped out a piece of paper from a notebook and he had it in his pocket, and he waited for us to get to that corner for him to pull it out and say, here, all right, write down your stuff. And I was like, okay, I wrote it down. Now we friends on Snapchat. And we started linking, we started smoking together and stuff. He really just became a really good friend of mine, just talking about things we wanted for ourselves. Talking about how NBA Youngboy is the best rapper of all time, and he really put Louisiana on the map and all this here. One day, I get a friend request on Snapchat, and this guy starts trying to shoot his shot at me, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm already somebody else less, so I don't need that. And I'm curving him, and I'm curving, and then he goes, well, how could you give him some and not me? Ooh, like, who are you talking about? So I didn't ask no questions. I already knew who the fuck it was, and I was like, all right, I'm not about to ask questions. People just about to start getting cut off. I blocked his ass, and Puda got blocked too. Saw him in school the next day like nothing happened. We didn't talk. And then I started to feel bad. I was like, damn, I kind of just did that shit out of nowhere. I ghosted. Let me tell him why. So I decided to do my big one, be the bigger person. I pulled him aside in class. Not went in the middle of the teacher's teaching. It was the computer lab. That's a whole nother story from a classroom environment. I don't want to hear it. It was the computer lab. So I pulled him aside. I had the discussion where I told him what happened, and then I apologized for just ghosting him like that. And he was like, well, you know, I had nothing to do with this situation. I really don't know. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay. You know, because of that situation, we kind of fell off. And it was tragic because I was missing him. And I tried to add him back on Snapchat. He didn't add me back. Pissy ass. That's fine. At this school I went to, I have a counselor that's counseling the world, right? She comes to pick me up every Wednesday at noon. And my counselor knew. I talked to my counselor about everything. I don't care. I talked to her about everything. No, I'm upset and everything. He not talking to me right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going on and things like that. And then she goes, well, Sierra, from what I heard, he's having a baby. And I'm like, what? I'm like, huh? That's what it was. That was his mama at the school cussing people out. Because we was in class earlier, and all of a sudden, you just heard somebody mama all the way from the front office, do you want me to pop you in your, do you want me to bust you in your fucking woo 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 woo? So everybody listening and stuff like that. And then neighborhood kids, you know, from the area, they was like, oh, they already knew who mama it was and stuff. I'm sitting in my little desk by the window. I look out the window and I see him walking home. I'm like, damn, he not coming to school. I'm so fucking slow. And then I get to the counselor's office just for her to tell me, you know, he got somebody pregnant. Now the puzzle pieces are connecting. Oh, I'm like, oh, damn, all right. When we fell off, he got back together with his ex and he got her pregnant. All right, boom. Y'all probably like, oh, you didn't know we had an ex? I heard about it. You know, people was like, yeah, they had been broken up for 2 months and things. So point of the matter is he was single, so I could go with my mood. That's what it was. I didn't know how serious they was until I put together that she was lurking on me. And I didn't even know who the fuck she was. 2 little girls, 2 middle schoolers came, added me on Snapchat, and I added them back because it was like, okay, these are 2 females. I don't know, you know, probably just by quick ad or such and such and so and so and everything. They came, added me on Snapchat and had been watching my stories for quite some time. And then I told y'all he didn't add me back on Snapchat, but he was still in my subscriptions. And I remember one time I clicked on his story and I saw a girl posted up on his story. So I was like, okay, that must be, you know, such and such so and so. Oh, then how about I go on Instagram? Her story bubble is like it's the first one. It's right there. That shit right there. And I'm like, this one ever Instagram used to low-key snitch on people for lurking on your page. Like, I was like, who the fuck? Her story was right there. This was also whenever Instagram stories had just came out. So everybody was hating, like, oh, they want to be Snapchat so bad. So, like, I still hadn't caught the wave yet. I would just see them at the top of my screen and be like, you want to be Snapchat so bad. It was right there. And I'm like, oh, she been watching. Okay, hey, you know. Then I go to my friends and I start sliding and I realize, wait a minute, we friends on Snapchat. Right? So I watch her story. And the same 2 children that came and added me on the friend request, those were her friends. She added them. And, you know, I guess it was like a little appreciation post. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. So at this point, I start thanking my lucky stars that I dodged a bullet. Like, this is a messy-ass situation I could have been into. Because I was fucking them. And then like a month after we stopped talking, she's pregnant. That could have been my child. I could have been a baby mama. Somewhere down the line, they break up. She had the baby and everything. I think they were together for a few months after she was born, and then they broke up again. And then that's whenever he came back around and stuff. And guess what I did?
Yo! Ling-a-ling-ling-ling, nigga! Okay. What's going on?
Yep. So I get to his house and I see, you know, her little crib and her toys and everything, how it's so set up. And I'm like, oh, this is just so cute. You know, I saw how he lowered his bed for her just in case, you know, they were playing together to make sure, you know, a little cute. I was like, oh my goodness, oh, that's so, and everything. Like, how the fuck am I gonna get mad? What the fuck I'm gonna be mad about? The baby was beautiful. Baby was beautiful. Took his whole face, had the biggest, prettiest brown eyes just like his. I was like, oh, you know, hey, all right. I ain't playing stepmama, but hey. So, you know, we laid up or whatever, and he like, you know, Sierra, I really just been hustling to make a way. I've been selling pack and stuff, and I really need a job. And I was like, well, I'm not about to gatekeep. I'm not about to stop nobody bag. And my job is hiring. My first job that I worked at, I know my boss was talking about she needed people and things like that because she was getting ready to do a full wipeout. So I was like, okay, fill out an application. I'll bring it to her attention and have her pull it for you. And that's exactly what happened. He filled out his application. I said, I need, you know, I have somebody that's willing to come work and everything. She pulled the application and she looked at it. She said, call him and tell him come for his interview. So he came for his interview and he got hired. So I had switched shifts to the morning position, and he was still in school, so he had to pick up an evening position. So whenever I'm coming out, he's coming in. And I remember seeing him on his first day. He was like, oh, look, Sierra, I made it. He was like, look, I made it. I was like, I gave him a hug. I was like, I'm happy you here and stuff like that. You know, they put him on the line. They was training him and everything and stuff. And I was like, okay, you know, you're done good, Hasselhoff. You're done good. And I end up moving to another side of town. So we're in the month of November, year 2023, right? Then I was doing like a little spamming on Instagram. So out of nowhere, I get this phone call, and you know, this person just starts talking, and it was like, yeah, because I feel like, you know, you really need somebody to talk to right now to get a few things off your chest. And I'm like, well, first of all, who is this? And then that's when he says, this Puda. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't talked to you in so long. You know, how have you been? What's going on and everything? And I just started telling him about how stressed out I am, the life plans that I set for myself, people coming into my life to fuck shit up. He told me about a few things he was going through. He was like, yeah, I just got out of jail a week ago. And I was like, now, wait a minute. You've been either the first or second viewer on my story for the past month now. You mean to tell me you was in jail that whole time? Like, yeah, I was in jail. I'm just listening to him rant, and I'm like, you know, you ain't flunky like that and stuff. It's like, cause I'm sitting up there, I'm trying to get out the shower, no privacy, niggas just staring at me and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, yep, you know. So we get into a deeper note and start talking about whenever we used to talk and what went wrong. And he said, Sierra, I really did like you, but sometimes you used to make me feel like a little flunky. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I had the biggest crush on you. I had the biggest fucking crush on you. I was so glad when you pulled out that piece of paper and that pen and asked me for my snap. Like, I went, if I didn't pray about you, I didn't like you. Like, if I liked the boys so much, I would get down on my knees. I would incorporate them into my prayers. I told him that, you know, I admitted to him, not even just told, I admitted to him that he was incorporated into my prayers before I went to bed. His name always came up and things like that and stuff. And I, you know, I made him laugh and made him feel good because it was the truth. Like, I really did like you and stuff. And, you know, he was like, well, do you want to be my girlfriend? Can we make this work now? And I'm like, well, you already have a family, and I don't really feel like I would be much of a priority to you whenever it come down to stuff like that. And then on top of that, the situation was just too messy and too grown for me. Like, your baby mama was watching me on Instagram while her friends stalked me on Snapchat and everything. Like, that's just, I get involved in stuff like that. I don't know if, you know, your mama and BM might gang up on the girlfriend, because that's something that's real common in situations like this. That's really just not something I want for myself. And I broke it to him. And he was like, I really want to see you, though. I still feel like we should link. And I'm like, well, we could just meet up by our street light, because, you know, we used to meet each other halfway by the street light. He would always beat me to it. That's our street light. I was like, I'm in the parish. Are you in the parish? She was like, yeah, I'm down the road somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay. I feel like you should focus on rekindling, you know, your relationship with the people in your life and everything and stuff. You pick one and have fun. Go travel, go see. You making all this money. You got this new apartment. You have a beautiful baby girl. Always say your prayers and things. Be very, very honest with God. Because he was like, yeah, I'm just fed up with this life. Like, jail ain't for me. I never want to go back there ever again. yeah, you shouldn't want to. That shit not cute. I just hate that he didn't get his second chance in life. And he was just like, I still want to see you. You know, I still want to link. And guess what I did?
Oh, ling, nigga. Okay. All right. What's going on?
So I make it to the new house. I gave him a hug and everything. I told him how proud of him I was and stuff. And I was like, you know, you turning it around. You got a good job and stuff like that. You got this place that you stand in that you just got to put some furniture in right now. Because he told me, you know, we still got to put furniture in here and everything. We just got it, me and my partner and stuff. Or, I don't know, maybe that nigga was lying. And then we go upstairs. Now, this is when it started to get a little crazy. We was going for like, what, 45 minutes? That was the usual. One of the last positions we was in was missionary. So I noticed that he doing shit kind of weird. Like we going, and then like he would be consistent and then push. You know, then I get about 3 more consistents and then a push. And I'm like, you already been pulling out and putting it back in. You already been pulling out and putting it the fuck back in. Now you want to start pushing. Like, it was ingrained in my head. You better take a plan B as soon as you get up out of this house. Ain't no way. You need to take a plan B. Oh, matter of fact, get him up off me. I'm tired. Get him up off me right now. So I'm like, you know, Puda, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep with you. I'm ready to go. I'm thinking, you know, he about to, okay, and walk me to the door. He was like, all right, you tired? You want to go to sleep? Come on, let's go to sleep. So he gets off me, and then he laid next to me, and then he started fixing the blanket on us. It's skin to skin contact going on, and he puts it back in, and then he leaves it there, and then I think he just was like about to just fall asleep. And I'm like, girl, what the so I'm like, well, this is uncomfortable. I can't, I'm just sitting there. I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to just vibe. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm trying to just vibe. And I'm trying to just close my eyes. And I'm like, no. I'm like, hell no, this is not comfortable. I cannot sleep like this. So I take it out myself. But, you know, he ain't say nothing. And then, like, we just went to sleep. He held me the whole night. Never let go. I would wake up out of it and his arm would still be in the same place. And I remember it was so cold in there, but like the warmth from his skin and stuff, it was like, okay, I gotta go to work early today, so I'm gonna have to just get up and leave. And I get all my stuff together and I looked at him and, you know, I just put the blanket back over him. I tucked him in. I rubbed his back a little bit. You know, I got up and I left. And that was the last time I saw him. That was the last time I saw him. He passed away on the 23rd, but I didn't find out until the 24th. It's Thanksgiving. I wake up. I'm just happy. I'm about to eat good, spend time with my family members. And then I get on Instagram and I click his story and it's a picture of him and his daughter with a broken heart. And then I go to like people who know him, right? And then I see his picture and then paragraphs. I'm like, no. I'm like, what? I just saw you. It was 2 weeks ago. Huh? And then immediately I just get confused. I'm like, do I have a right to cry? That's a legitimate question. Do I have a right to cry? You can't go to the funeral. You knew his brother and stuff like that. You had good words with his sister and everything. But like you can't hug nobody. But I did cry though. I cried that whole day. I was like, wow. I started regretting telling him no when he asked me to be his girlfriend. Cause he wanted something with me. You know, he told me that he really did like me. I could have been that second chance. Because he wasn't staying with his parents no more. I remember that last conversation we had. He was like, I don't fuck with them. You know, I live down the road now. I don't fuck with them no more. I didn't ask why because I felt like it wasn't my place. And I didn't want him pillow talking to me about some shit I couldn't fix. So it was like, all right, you know, it is what it is. I'ma make my way to you then. And I'm glad I did. Cause he never really did no shady shit besides tell somebody that we was messing with each other. That's probably the only thing he ever did to me. But he never hurt me in no kind of ways. He was nice to me. We were friends. I helped him get his first job. We worked together and stuff. We went to school together. I used to see you. Once upon a time, I wanted to be that, but it was just so much going on with your family dynamic that was too much. That's too fucking much. So a few days after his passing, I had a dream. I'm at his funeral. I'm at a funeral, right? Well, I should say a church. You have the aisle, the middle aisle, and then you got the seats on the left and the seats on the right. This casket is at the front, the altar. I could feel two people holding me up, like I'm being escorted down the aisle by these angels, and I'm getting closer and closer to, you know, his casket. It's open. He had on this nice sky blue suit and this white interior. I guess that's what his shirt was, white. Very happy I didn't get to see his face because of the way he passed away. He was shot. Apparently he was sprayed. You know, he had bullets everywhere from what his mother posted on her story. You know, please God, don't let me, I don't want to see his face. I don't want to see that. And I began to cry. And I look at where his face is supposed to be, and it's a bouquet of white roses right where his face is supposed to be, blocking it out. And you know, I'm looking, and then I just wake up. I remember being that cheesy little high school girl, just looking at him, and I was like, God, I like him a lot, you know. And then it's just these words that were whispered into my ear. It was like, do you trust me? Well, he asked me twice, because at first I was like, huh? And then he was like, do you trust me? And I said, yes. I don't know what it is with hood niggas. I guess that's just the life they choose, you know. Do I regret taking the plan B? No, I don't regret taking that plan B. I don't, because I would have just been a single parent to a child with no father. That's the story time. I mean, I hope y'all learned something from this. Always trust God. Always. He ain't never gonna let you down. He ain't never gonna let you down. For his balloon release, I did my own little special thing. They had these two little, I'm gonna show y'all the emoji, because that's what it looked like. I hooked them together like this, and then I went to our street light that we used to just meet up at, and I buried them there. You know, I dug a little pocket, and I buried it right there. I blew up some balloons, some blue balloons in my room. I just felt like it was only right that I be out here on that day. But yeah, let me know if y'all liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. How good of a relationship did you have with your link? Were y'all toxic, or just, you know, just talk about it? But yeah, I'm out. I'll be back.